Have a nice day to everyone. My name is H.S. Anant Narayan. I am the student of Kelly's College of Education, Ankola, B.Ed second year. My roll number is 21. Today we discuss about basic components of management, in which functions of manager. First one is a planning. This step involves mapping out exactly how to achieve a particular goal. For example, that the organization's goal is to improve company sales. The manager first needs to decide which steps are necessary to accomplish that goal. These steps may include increasing advertising, inventory, and sales staff. These steps developed into plan. When the plan is in place, the manager can follow it to accomplish the goal of improving company sales. Second one is organizing. After a plan in place, a manager needs to organize his team and materials according to the plan. Assigning work and granting authority are two important elements of organizing. Third one is staffing. After a manager discerns his area's needs, he may decide to keep up his staffing by recruiting, selecting, training, and developing employees. A manager in a large organization often works with the company's human resources department to accomplish this goal. A fourth one is leading. A manager needs to do more than just plan, organize, and staff her team to achieve a goal. She must also lead. Leading involves motivating, communicating, guiding, and encouraging. It requires the manager to coach, assist, and problem solve with employees. Fifth one is controlling. After the other elements are in place, a manager's job is not finished. He needs to continuously check results against goals and take any corrective actions necessary to make sure that his area's plans remain on track. Introduction of planning. Planning is a primary function of management. Management process starts with planning of activities. Planning provides direction for activities. Planning is a continuous activity. It involves answering various questions like why the action is taken, when it would be taken, how it would be taken, who would take it, and so on. Definition and nature of planning. Definitions. Knudsen and O'Donnell defines planning as planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who is to do it. In the words of George R. Terry, planning is a method or a technique of looking ahead, a constructive reviewing of future needs so that present actions can be adjusted in view of the established goals. Next, we discuss about characteristics of planning. First one is planning is a primary function. Management process starts with planning, so planning is a primary function of management, that is organizing, directing, and controlling are dependent on planning. Second one is planning is result oriented. Every plan is framed to achieve certain well defined objectives. Planning is done to achieve goals. First targets are set and then planning is done. Next point is planning is future oriented. Next point is planning is a continuous activity. Next point is planning is pervasive. Next point is intellectual process. Next point is interdependent activity. Next point is planning requires past, present, and future analysis. Managers need to check past performance, present targets, and future possibilities while planning. Next point is basis of control. Next point is flexible in nature. Next we discuss about planning process. There are 10 processes as follows. First one is analysis of internal environment. Second one is analysis of external environment. Third one is establishment of objectives. Fourth one is establishment of planning. Fifth one is framing alternative plans. Sixth one is evaluation of alternative plans. Seventh one is selection of the best plan. Eighth one is formulation of derivative plans. Ninth one is implementation. And the last one, 10th process is follow-up. Planning premises. A premise is an idea that one accepts as true and use it as base for developing other idea. Planning premises thus are certain ideas or assumptions which one makes while preparing a plan. For example, if marketing planning has to be done for next year, then certain assumptions have to be made, like finished goods supply will be normal, the demand is likely to be more, less, the cost of selling and distribution would increase marginally, and so on. Planning premises exist both within and outside the company, that is internal and external premises. Planning premises may be divided into tangible and intangible ones. Planning premises may be fully controllable, partly controllable, or absolutely uncontrollable. Planning premises may be constant or variable in nature. Types of plans. There are two types. One is standing plans. These plans are prepared for repeat use. They are used again and again. Therefore, they are referred as repeat use plans. Second one is single use plans. These plans are prepared to achieve specific objectives. These are used only once. Once the purpose is served, plan becomes obsolete. Limitations of planning. First one is time consuming. Planning needs collection of data of past, present and future of the organization. It requires consultation and discussion with other people in the organization. It requires approval for higher authority. Therefore, planning is a time consuming process. Second limitation, paperwork. Lot of paperwork is involved in planning function. Paperwork is more due to reports making, taking approvals, alternative plans, etc. Third one is costly affair. A good amount of money is required to be spent for collecting and analyzing the data. So the companies who cannot offer such expenses avoid planning. Fourth one is possibility of under targeting. Fifth one is possibility of over targeting. Seventh one is generates frustration. Next point is possibility of human error. Plan require judgment and intelligence on the part of the managers. But if managers have done wrong judgment about future, then it may lead to wrong targeting. Thank you everyone.